Well, tonight we have a 12 News exclusive, a major development in the ongoing investigation into Insys.
Insys is the Chandler-based drug company tied to a bribery scheme where doctors were allegedly paid by the company if they prescribed the company's powerful opioid.
The state has reached a deal with at least one of the company's leaders. Team 12's Bianca Bono has the details.
It's a rap video made by then Insys employees to promote the company's flagship drug, Insys, which is fentanyl in spray form. But now the man who was wearing the life-sized opioid costume is settling with the state of Arizona to the tune of $9.5 million. This after Attorney General Mark Brnovich's office filed a consumer fraud lawsuit against him and other employees at the Chandler-based company back in 2017. Alec Burlikoff is tied to a lucrative scheme where doctors were allegedly paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to write prescriptions for Insys, the highly addictive drug only meant for cancer patients. According to documents, Burlikoff actively sought out and targeted those doctors. In addition to paying out nearly $10 million, Burlikoff must also cooperate and testify in the other remaining cases. In a statement to 12 News, Insys saying in part, Insys Therapeutics in no way defends the past misconduct of former employees and is fully cooperating with the government. In an ongoing criminal investigation, Burlikoff has pleaded guilty to racketeering conspiracy and faces up to 20 years in prison. Bianca Bono, 12 News.